Hi, I'm a storyteller, and I fancy myself also as a storytelling teacher. I have presented at various conferences and delivered workshops on storytelling, but I don't think I'm as good at telling stories as this man, a fellow called Ty Bennett. It must be a good 8 or 9 years ago that I listened to watched one of his videos and took some notes which I wrote into this little notebook. And here's what I wrote, because it's so relevant. If you're a speaker and you want to influence audiences, you have to be a good storyteller. And here's what Ty Bennett says about storytelling in his workshop. What does storytelling do? It makes the listener reflect on what they know as they connect with you. A storyteller's job is not just to convey wisdom. It is to get the listener to think, how does this apply to me? To reflect on that and apply it. Continuing, stories attach meaning to a message by entertaining and creating emotion. And again, it is about becoming a trusted advisor. Without engagement, there is no influence. Now, all of these things are pretty obvious, but it's good to be reminded of them. If you are a speaker, develop the ability to tell stories which will arouse emotion in the minds of the listener or viewer, and for you to do that, you have to meet certain requirements, and these are finding a balance between credibility, reliability. In other words, people say, yes, he's one of us. He understands my problem. He's told me a story which hits the nail right on the head with a problem I'm going through, or once went through but haven't been able to resolve. He says, Ty goes on to say, your purpose is not perfection, it is connection with your audience. So don't aim to be perfect, just be yourself. Tell those stories that come from your heart, which you think are important to your audience. Your story is not about you. Your story is for them. I'll repeat that. Your story is not about you. Your story is for them. It's not communicated when it's said. It's communicated when it's understood. Now, those are the words I wrote when I listened to Ty give that workshop on YouTube. It's probably on YouTube still. Ty Bennett, look him up. He's a good speaker, a good storyteller. I've long believed that storytelling, apart from a personal experience that happens to you, apart from that personal experience, a story moves you and has a greater influence on your life than anything else. Your own personal stories comes out of your experience. If you can tell those personal stories, which really had a big effect on your life, moved you emotionally at the time, changed you in some way, these are the stories that you need to tell to your audiences. Providing, of course, there's some commonality that they can, as Ty said, identify with those stories themselves. So pick stories out of your life which are meaningful and will be meaningful to your audience. Don't tell them to change. Tell them the story. And from that story, then perhaps they will change.